Dive. Today, we're plunging into a book that's, well, it's incredibly popular, but also pretty controversial. Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power.
Hmm.
And let's just be clear right up front, okay? This isn't really a moral compass.
No, definitely not.
It's not a guide on how to be, like, a good person. Think of it more as a tactical playbook.
Exactly.
It just lays out how people have, for centuries gained power, kept power, protected it in all sorts of situations.
And for this deep dive, we've really dug into a detailed analysis of it, trying to pull out the most vital nuggets for you.
Right.
The mission here is to kind of unpack what makes it so impactful, even with its reputation, and help you get a real understanding of the core principles.
So you can spot them.
So you can spot them when you see these dynamics playing out.
Okay, so let's unpack the book itself first. The 48 Laws of Power, published back in 1998.
98.
And it just, boom, immediately sparked all this conversation. Became one of the most talked about books on power, influence, human behavior. Like we said, it's purely operational. It's not worried about right or wrong.
Right.
Just what works.
Just what works. And the structure is, well, it's very meticulous. You got 48 distinct principles or laws. And for each one, Greene gives you a clear statement, then these really rich historical examples.
Yeah, the examples are key.
Totally. Kings, politicians, generals, artists, all sorts. And then he has sections like observance, who used the law well.
Right.
And transgression, who ignored it and, well, failed.
Messed up.
Yeah. And then summary, his interpretation. The style is very sharp, uncompromising, you could say Machiavellian.
Definitely Machiavellian, prioritizing cunning over morals.
Exactly. Some people flat out call it evil.
I've heard that.
But, a lot of leaders, entrepreneurs, creative types, they actually use it like a strategy manual.
Okay, so let's get into what's really interesting here, I think. The underlying currents, these core themes running through it all.
Yeah, the big ideas.
These aren't just random tips. They're like fundamental insights into human nature and how power works. So, theme 1. Greene says power is ubiquitous. It's everywhere. Offices, families, politics, even friendships.
That's a big one. It's kind of startling when you think about it that way, isn't it?
It really is. How often we just miss the subtle power plays happening, like even in casual chats.
Absolutely. And
Okay.
grasping that is critical because it shows these forces are constant. Power isn't just for, kings and presidents.
It's daily.
It's a daily thing.
Okay, theme 2. Human nature, he suggests, is inherently competitive,
Right.
driven by stuff like envy, pride, fear, manipulation. These are just constant forces in how we interact.
A somewhat bleak view.
A little bit, yeah. Third theme. Focuses on survival over morality. Like we keep saying, Greene isn't asking what's right,
Just so it works.
just what works for getting and keeping power. And finally, a huge one. History repeats itself.
Oh, yeah.
The same power games from centuries ago, still happening, just maybe different clothes, different settings.
And that point really hammers home why understanding these themes is so valuable for you listening. It's about recognizing these constant, sometimes hidden forces.
Seeing the patterns.
Seeing the historical patterns that just keep showing up. It gives you this different lens to view human behavior through.
Okay, talking about themes is one thing, but seeing them in action, that's where it clicks, right?
Definitely.
So let's look at a few of the most famous laws. Law 1, never outshine the master.
Classic.
The principle is basically, don't make your boss or superior feel insecure. Don't look better than them. And the example he uses is Nicolas Fouquet, finance minister to Louis XIV. Fouquet throws this insanely lavish party to impress the king. Thinks it'll win him points, but what actually happens?
Yeah, what's fascinating there is how fast it backfired. Louis XIV didn't see loyalty.
No.
He saw Fouquet basically showing off, maybe even challenging his own brilliance, his own status. It wasn't just the money, it was how it made the king feel.
And the result?
Fouquet ended up in prison. A pretty stark lesson, right? Power isn't just what you do, it's how you make the powerful feel.
Wow. Okay, harsh lesson indeed. Then there's Law 3. Conceal your intentions.
The smokescreen law.
Right. Look open, look transparent, but actually hide what you're really aiming for. Keep people guessing.
It's about the power of ambiguity, If they can't figure out your next move,
They can't block it.
exactly, they can't effectively counter it. You force them to react on your terms. Big strategic advantage.
Okay, next one. Law 6. Court attention at all costs.
Be seen.
Yeah. Greene basically says visibility equals power. Being unnoticed, that's weakness. He points to guys like P.T. Barnum.
The circus guy.
The circus guy, master showman, always in the news, right? Even for scandals. He got that any attention was good attention for keeping his name out there, his influence.
Barnum was incredible at this, wasn't he? Just perfectly embodies that idea. Stay in the public eye no matter how. And that translates into a kind of power, control over perception.
And then we get to the really ruthless ones. Law 15, crush your enemy totally.
Yes.
Don't leave enemies half-beaten.
No mercy.
Because they will recover, they will seek revenge. Green points out, ancient rulers got this. They often destroyed rivals completely.
Right, wipe them out to avoid that cycle of vengeance or future threats.
It's cold strategy.
It is. It's a cold look at strategy. Leaving an enemy with the resources or even just hope, it can mean more trouble down the line. Really highlights that zero-sum view of power sometimes.
It's not just about big public moves either, is it? Green also gets into the psychology. Law 33, discover each man's thumbscrew.
Ah, the vulnerability play.
Exactly. Find out what makes someone tick their weaknesses, fears, deep desires, and then, well, understand how that could be used.
How it could be leveraged. It's about finding that personal leverage point.
Shifting gears a bit. Law 40, despise the free lunch.
Nothing's free.
Pretty much. Real value comes from paying your own way. Things offered for free, they usually hide traps, obligations.
Strings attached.
Always strings attached. It'll cost you more in the end.
It's about independence, maintaining control by not being indebted.
And then, maybe pulling a lot of this together, Law 48, assume formlessness.
Be like water.
Be like water, adaptable, constantly shifting your strategy, your appearance. The idea is, if people can't pin you down, can't predict you.
They can't attack you effectively. They can't counter you. It keeps you elusive, hard to target.
It's really striking how varied these laws are, isn't it?
It is, but they all kind of pivot on understanding human psychology and strategic thinking. Whether it's, the blunt force of crushing an enemy or the subtlety of hiding your goals.
Yeah.
These historical examples, they just bring it all to life. They're like little case studies for each law. Makes it very vivid.
Okay, but let's talk about the reception. Because this book is definitely a double-edged sword.
For sure.
It gets a lot of praise for its strengths, but man, the criticisms are significant too.
Huge criticisms.
On the plus side, the historical stories are fantastic. Sun Tzu, Napoleon, Machiavelli, Cleopatra. It's packed with them.
Very engaging reads.
It gives you practical insights maybe into psychology, manipulation, strategy, stuff that could be useful in business, politics, negotiation.
Right, competitive fields.
And for a lot of people, it just raises their awareness, helps them see how others might be trying to control or deceive them.
And that awareness piece is what fans really point to. But then you have the criticism.
Which are loud.
Very loud. It's often seen as just plain immoral or manipulative.
Because it teaches deception.
Yeah.
How to use people, even betray trust.
Explicitly, yeah. Another big one. Not all laws work everywhere. Some would probably backfire horribly in normal relationships, friendships, family.
Oh, definitely. Imagine trying to crush your enemy totally on your sibling.
Right. Bad idea. And many find the whole tone deeply cynical. It sort of assumes everyone is selfish and ruthless underneath it all.
So that brings up a big question for you listening. How do you even approach a book like this? So powerful, but so, problematic.
Well, I think the common take is powerful but dangerous.
Like a tool.
Exactly, like a sword. Great for defense, great for attack, but it really depends who's holding it and why. If you read it wisely, to understand behavior, to understand strategy, to be more aware, it can teach caution, give you real insight into how things sometimes work behind the scenes.
Right.
But if you misuse it, if you just blindly follow it without any ethical thought, it could lead to really manipulative, cold behavior. You might end up pretty isolated.
So it's like holding up a mirror to the darker side of ambition, maybe? Not necessarily a how-to guide for life.
That's a good way to put it. It shows you the mechanics, not necessarily endorsing them as the only way or the right way.
Okay, so who should actually engage with this stuff, given everything we've said?
Well, thinking about the content and that double-edged nature, it seems most directly relevant for leaders, maybe entrepreneurs, people in really competitive jobs.
Where strategy is key.
Where strategy is key, yeah. Also, anyone just fascinated by history, psychology, human behavior. It's full of that.
Sure.
And maybe most importantly, anyone who wants to protect themselves, to recognize when these tactics might be used on them by others who are playing by these rules.
Right. So knowing the game, even if you don't play it the same way.
Exactly. Understanding the laws, whether you plan to use them or not, it just gives you a deeper insight into power dynamics, which are, let's face it, everywhere.
So, wrapping this up, what's the takeaway for you, the listener? This deep dive shows the 48 Laws of Power is, well, it's a potent strategic manual.
Strategic, not moral.
Definitely not moral. It gives you this stark, maybe uncomfortable look at how power works in its raw form. The value is understanding behavior, understanding strategy, giving you a lens to analyze things. But you always have to weigh the ethics, right?
Absolutely. And connecting it to the bigger picture, the real value isn't just memorizing 48 laws. It's recognizing the history behind them, the psychology, why they work, why they persist.
Seeing the chessboard.
Seeing the chessboard more clearly. Understanding these dynamics is honestly a form of self-protection, strategic awareness in a world that's pretty complex.
Okay, so let's leave you with a final thought to chew on.
Okay.
Consider where you might already be seeing these laws playing out, maybe in your own life. Your workplace, social groups, politics, the news. Where do you see them? And how might just recognizing them, just being aware, change how you see things, or maybe even how you approach those situations? Something to think about.